Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief, APGAINS here. I'm joined by the King Stepbro himself, the master of bounty hunters, Van Seal. Van Seal, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I am suffering from crippling emotional distress, but that doesn't matter because we're talking bounty hunters today, your speciality. If you guys love bounty hunters as much as I do, first link in the description will take you to Van Seal's channel. He's at 700 subscribers. We're going to get him to 1,000 by Thanksgiving. I want all of you guys to make sure you go over there and subscribe, help him get his goal. We're going to hop into the game, right?
Thanksgiving, that's pretty ambitious.
Dude, we're doing it. We're doing it. All right, we're in the game. For some reason, my tabs have all closed, so let me re-enter. We're talking bounty hunters, of course. Every time we have King Stepbro, we talk bounty hunters. The bounty hunters are going to become the most important faction in the game. You heard it here first. The bounty hunters are going to be one of the most important things. Early game, mid game, late game, you're going to have them. You obviously have pretty much maxed out bounty hunters, and you're going to be on the cutting edge of a lot of stuff, like once Boba comes to the game. And then I think even Zam Wessel's getting an Omicron. So there's going to be a lot of increases in their viability, but I want you to talk us each stage of the game. If you're starting a new account, you're just starting, you're 2 to 3 to 4 million GP, and then you're an endgame whale. Quick 2 minutes each section. How are you using your bounty hunters? Which ones are you prioritizing first? What's your whole thought process behind this?
So definitely for new players, I think we talked about this on like one of your other videos, is farm 6, not 5 bounty hunters, because what you want to do is you want to have flexibility, and that's the one thing you're going to get. That's one thing you'll notice once you become an endgame player is you have a lot of flexibility to different leads. So definitely farm 6, not just 5, because you want to be able to rotate leads based off what you need to do. Bosk is
A must.
so good. Just
I mean,
like,
he's
like
I got him as a top 5 Zeta. I got his leadership as a top 5 Zeta.
You have to go for him first. Django also amazing. I mean, really, if you want to talk about like which bounty hunters, like there's only one bounty hunter I don't use. All of them I have a use for, and they're not like niche uses. Like they all, like I have 2 different teams right now. I'm about to have a 3rd team once the new Boba comes in, and they all can take down Darth Revan. Like they all kind of accomplish the same thing. Embo's the only one that like you could like. Once I figure out how to use that guy, I will let the world know. But as of right now, just get him to R5 for your
requirements,
GL requirement, and then just that's it. Because
guys, go in the comment section right now. Are you part of the Embo cult? If you guys go to my actual profile, I think my icon is actually still Embo.
Oh my God.
Let me check. I'm going in. Yeah, it's still Embo. If you're part of the Embo cult, go down in the comment section. Make your voices known, because I love Embo. Van Seal loves Embo. Every content creator loves Embo. He's amazing.
But his CG, just the way they made his kit, it's just not a.
Yeah, they really did our man dirty. All right, so we talked about the early game, right? 6 bounty hunters, 2 leads. Probably the best to go for earlier: Bosk, Django, Boba, and then I'd say Grief and Grief and Mando, because they're now accelerated rate, and then throw in Dangar maybe for the Chewbacca event, or maybe just for some recovery, or maybe throw in Aura Singh for her potential leadership. We're in the mid game now. We're 3 to 4 million GP. We have resources. We have the ability to relic characters that aren't Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, Gas, all that stuff. Do we change how we use or how we apply resources to the bounty hunters? What are we thinking in this 3 to 4 million GP range?
When you're in the mid range, the mid range is kind of weird because you're like on the verge, I think, of completing 2 teams, but you're not quite there yet. So you're going to have a better bounty hunter team, but you're going to have leftovers. And what I say for those leftovers, as creative as some bounty hunter teams may be, I would just say just don't mess with the leftovers. Like wait till you get everybody, then you can build 2 solid teams together. But when you're in the mid game, you're probably going to be running Bosk and Grief together. It's very, very easy. I mean, it's 2 buttons, instant contract for Aura lead or Bosk lead. It's just really easy that way. So you're probably running Grief, Bosk, Mando, and Aura together, and then Boba maybe. And like I said, you might have some leftovers because now you have Django and Dengar. For a mid game player, I would suggest try to not use Django with bounty hunters. Yeah, because there's a good chance when you can become endgame, you probably aren't going to use Django with bounty hunters because he's so good with Seps. So like he's one of those leftovers that's just kind of fold over into another faction. There's nothing wrong with keeping Django for bounty hunters. I don't really use him bounty hunters anymore. Like I said, he just belongs to the Separatists, and he just
that automatic contract damage immunity at the beginning. Super important to have on your Separatist team. And I'm glad you brought that up, because there are some bounty hunters that are going to be used in separate teams. I mean, but when Fatty Boba comes out, when Tiggle Bitty Boba comes out, I mean, he's going to be theoretically, according to their posts, Fennec Shand, Bam, Queel, IG-11, some sort of, Mando Season 2 squad.
That's the team, yep.
So while that technically would be a bounty hunter squad, because technically Fatty Boba is a bounty hunter, I wouldn't really consider that a bounty hunter. He's going towards contract, but you're having Bam, you're having Queel, you're having IG. It's not entirely a bounty hunter team. And I think that's what's big about the mid-game and going into that later game is that you can start to utilize characters in unique and interesting situations, not just, your basic 5-man bounty hunter team. You have some flexibility. Right. So let's adventure. Yeah. Let's spend some money. Let's, remortgage our house. We're in the end game now. We're in that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million GP range. You're playing speed GAC. Everything's maxed. How are you preparing now that we know that Zam Wessel has an Omnom Nomicron? We don't know what it does yet. We don't know what any Omnom Nomicrons do, to be honest. So it could do whatever.
Well, we got Phasmas and Rose today, and those looked interesting.
Did they actually drop? I'm sorry. Forewarning, I have been busy all day. I didn't see those posts. Did they actually drop Omnom Nomicrons?
Yeah, they dropped what Phasmas and Rose are. So
okay.
Take it with a grain of salt. I think every character is going to be different. We did get Dash's kit and Dash's Omnicron, so I think it's really going to vary on the character, and it's going to vary on the game mode.
Mm-hmm.
If Zam gets like a TB one, I'm not going to really bat an eyelash at it. If she gets a TW one, it really just depends on the game mode and what they give her. But
yeah,
Zam desperately needs something.
And she's required at Relic 7. That's even at the end game. That's an investment of resources because that gear you need it's kind of hard to whale on a lot of. I mean, you can spend straight up crystals, but that gets expensive. So I mean, a Relic 7 requirement.
And it doesn't do anything for her because her kit is just not designed to be stat heavy. Her kit is very basic. Anyways, going back to your original question about endgame. So at that point, endgame, you really should be focusing on 2 separate bounty hunter teams. You really should have, and I always try to encourage players to separate Bosk and Grief.
Yeah.
I think if you're an endgame player and you have Bosk and Grief on the same team, I like to call that as a training wheels team because you really should be able to take those off at this point. Bosk and Grief can be on their separate teams because if you try to run a bounty hunter team without either of them, I don't care how good your bounty hunters are, it's going to be pretty bad. You really need at least one call to assist just to expedite that contract and make sure you get it off. Whether it's Bosk, whether it's Aura, whether it's whichever lead you're using, you got to separate the 2. And then as far as Boba and Fennec, I think Fennec's is going to stay with Boba. Honestly, it's almost it's almost like the team puts itself together. It's like Fennec gains so much from being under Boba's lead. She doubles her offense gain, and then she can quadruple her offense gain if she's also with Bam. And then it's like, well, if you're also running Bam, you might as well run IG and you might as well run Quill. So it's like that team kind of auto completes itself, but now that's for TW because he gets all of his Omicrons for TW. But for GAC,
I mean, that's not a bad GAC team either.
I don't think so.
Because Bam's got a solid timeout team, but a lot of that is just he's thick. Yeah. Queel and IG give recovery. Boba's not going to be terrible in GAC. He's not going to be, GL killer Boba TW, but that could still be a solid squad.
Yeah, it is. I just don't think it's going to be any more powerful than the other bounty hunter teams. I think all 3 teams are going to be at the same power level, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, if you have 3 teams that can kill Darth Revan at the end of the day, then you really have a lot more flexibility.
Which is always super important because you never know what you're going to come across in GAC.
And then, like I said, Zam's Omnicron, I don't know. I mean, it's Zam, so I don't know what they're going to do with her, but...
I have a prediction. It's just going to double the bombs. Instead of, whatever... I don't even know what she does, to be honest. She's level 1 on my account. It's just going to... Every time there's a bomb, it's just going to automatically be a double bomb. It's going to be a 2 bomb.
I don't know.
One-woman Jawa team.
I don't know what they could do to her.
Run Zam with Jawas. You heard it here first. That's 2 Omnom Nomicrons. Chief Nebet, I think, is the Jawa plus Zam. Dude, imagine.
Yeah, he gets an Omicron too.
Imagine the bombs.
If they're in the same, if they have Omicrons in the same game mode, then maybe. But I don't know.
They're both gonna be like both gonna be like Squad Arena Omicron. They're gonna be Squad Arena Omicrons.
Oh, Conquest Omicrons. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was some pretty good insight. We got early game, we got mid game, we got late game. tons of information for any number of players depending on how long they've been playing. Of course, Van Seal is the bounty hunter master. When Boba does come out, you're wailing.
yeah.
You wailed on like you're the bounty hunter guy. So make sure you go to the
Yes.
description. First link, take you to his YouTube page. We're getting him 1,000 subscribers by Thanksgiving. A lofty goal, but one that we can achieve. Make sure you represent, especially you guys. If you're a 6%er, and I know a lot of you guys are like, what is a 6%? Am I a 6%er? Do I qualify? 6% of people watch past 8 minutes. We're at 10 minutes and 30 seconds now. We're getting to 3%er territory. If you're a 3%er, you are subscribing. You are subscribing to Van Seal. You are helping him get to 1,000 subscribers. And that's just what 3%ers do. So Van Seal, thank you so much for being on here. We were going to do a video for your channel. We're going to do that in the future. You got to do some planning. You know, life's busy, school, work, all this stuff. I understand.
All the fun stuff.
But thank you so much for being on here. We're going to get out of here. As always, guys, we love you. I love you. Van Seal loves you. I'll give you a couple forehead kisses. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.